Hi there, this is Jeff, and I'm going to go over how to get the artwork ready for the 10-foot curved easy tube display, also known as the tubular display. And so to start off with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the front template, and it's important to note that this display is available in a front side print or double-sided print. So you can actually have the back or the convex side, the outside curve, printed as well. So for the most part, if it's just being done single-sided, you're going to use the front template unless you're selecting to have it printed double-sided, in which case you're going to be using this template, so the front, and also the back template, which I'll go over in another video. All right, so to get started here, a couple things. When you're opening it up, make sure that it's selected Crop to Media Box. And then for the resolution, we want this to be at 125 dpi, which it is. And then for the color mode, you want this to be on CMYK, which it is. So once you have all that in place, go ahead and select OK. And this is going to open up the full-size template. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to keep this template as its own separate layer. So on the right-hand side here, under Layers, just keep it its own separate layer. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to design right on top of this. Just keep all your other design assets, your logo, your text, pictures, anything that you add into this as separate layers. And the reason why is because when you're all done and you're ready to go ahead and save your final version, you're just going to simply hide or delete altogether the template layer and just be left with your final artwork. So, couple things. To get started, you'll notice the dark blue going around the perimeter here. That's actually a bleed area. So you want to keep any important information out of there. But you do want to go ahead and extend the background all the way to the outer edge. So in other words, if you're doing a camouflage background, go ahead and extend it all the way to the outer edges. But just don't put anything important like your logo or text or anything nearby there. As a matter of fact, for logos and text or anything that's meant to be read or seen, you actually want to keep it inside this yellow box here, and that's considered the safe zone. So that's where you know it's not going to be too close to the edge or it's not going to be cut off. So then the next step you're going to do is you're going to begin adding everything in. You can do that by going to File and Place, and you can browse your computer for all your design assets and begin designing, again, right on top of this template. So at this point, what I want to do is I want to go over an example of some artwork that fits the template really well. And so that way you have a better understanding of what we're looking for. Okay, so here's a design that fits the template really well. And I know that because if I go over to the artwork layer and I right click and I go to blending options, I can change the opacity down and actually see that the template layer is right underneath it. So this allows me to kind of look at both, and I can determine the position of it and know if I need to move anything around. But this looks good, and so once we're done here, you can click cancel. And now what you want to do is you want to inspect all of your pictures and all of your artwork to make sure that the resolution is good, that nothing is pixelated in case you need to swap it out. So you can do that by going to Control and Plus on a PC, and you just kind of zoom all the way in until about 1 inch equals 1 inch in real life. So here's 61 inches, here's 62 inches. Now what I can do is use the navigator tool, and I can kind of comb around and look at the artwork, look at the logos and the pictures, and everything looks good. So once I've confirmed that, we could press Control and minus and zoom all the way back out. And so now at this point, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and save a copy of your working layered file. And this is in case you need to make any changes now or in the future. You'll have that file that you can revert back to. And so once you've done that, now you're ready to go ahead and either hide or delete the template layer. And you can do that over here under the layer. You can just click on it and drag to the trash can and delete it, which is what I usually do. Or you can just hide it. And once you've done that, you're going to have one more step before you're ready to go ahead and save the final version. And that is you want to go to Layer at the top here and go to Flatten Image. And what that's going to do is that's going to actually compress all of your artwork layers together so that you just have one final artwork version that is ready to go. And it's going to do a couple things. One, it's going to make the file more manageable in size, which is going to be nice when you go to upload it. And two, it's going to lock everything in place. So if you used any fonts or any objects that may not translate over well to another computer, it just locks everything in place. And we know that whatever we see on our computer is going to be the same thing that you see on yours. So now we're left with just saving it. And what you can do is you can just go to File and Save As. And usually you want to go ahead and save it as a high quality PDF. And if it doesn't allow you to save it as a PDF, you can save it as like a .psb file, which is a large Photoshop document file. But for the most part, you're going to be able to save it as a high resolution PDF. And that's it. So if you have any questions about this, please feel free to give me a call or ask a question. Thanks a lot.